Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Shyama. That was a mesmerizing introduction. This is the first time I'm hearing some introduction like that. Anyway, thank you so much. So I would rather have just Jahnavi Sanal, science teacher. That's more than enough for me. That is what gives me pleasure and happiness. So again, as teachers, we have the bad tendency to ask questions always. So I'm not changing that habit. How many students here may I know? Please raise your hands. Oh, fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How many teachers here? Oh, fantastic. But see, I am representing you all, but I was expecting more teachers, definitely. So you know why I have to stand here today representing all the teachers, because we are the endangered species. Within a short span, I doubt whether rationalist teachers will be there in the classrooms, or maybe even if there are rationalist teachers, we may have to shut our mouth in the classroom. The teachers must be knowing what I'm talking about. So this is the situation that we are going through now. So why this topic? First, I was also thinking, why this topic? This topic seems to be very, very silly. And we all know, if I tell you scientific temper in the classroom, it is known, it is understood that scientific temper should be there in every classroom without fail. Without fail, all the teachers, all the citizens of India should be transacting scientific temper through the classroom to each one of them also. But still, why? This is the reason, as our MC was talking first, and Suraj was telling 51AH. Because of that, we have to instill scientific temper in the society, in the classroom especially. Society, when I'm talking about society, society comes next. Our children come first, they become the societal people. They make the society. So if children don't have scientific temper, definitely the society will lack it. That's what we are seeing now also. So still, this is there in the Constitution, so it is sure that we have to instill. After 72 years of Constitution, still we have to stand here to talk the ways to instill scientific temper in the classroom. Why? Where is the gap? Why is the gap? This is what we are all worried about. Once this gap is filled, it's going to be much easier. We are going to build a better society once this gap is reduced or filled. So that is what I have taken this topic and come forward this much. So the major problem that we find in the classroom is this. I was a theist for 21 years, hardcore believer, didn't want to change anything. All these things were going as such in the plan. Then how this transition from a theist to a rationalist was very difficult. It was not easy for me to change at the age of 21. It's difficult. When you grow old, your beliefs are actually, it is stamped onto you. You are not ready to change for anyone. If somebody come and tell you, no, your beliefs are wrong, no, I have invested so much, these 21 years or 24 years, I've invested a lot. How can I change all of a sudden one day if you come and ask me to change everything? I'm not ready to change it. So for me, it was very difficult. I know many of you who have changed later in your life, those who have got the privilege of growing as a rationalist, I envy you. But those who had to change in the period of course of their life, it was very difficult. And this was the reason. You are not ready to think out of your box. I was not ready. I was not ready to think. I was always scared. What if I think this way? It's not going to help me. Somebody, some omnipotent is always watching me, thinking this way, that way, doing wrong. You have to respect elders. You're not supposed to ask questions. This is what was there in front of me. So this is the reason, the first and foremost reason why there is no scientific temper or the less scientific temper in the classroom. Whereas I see my daughter, she's in 4th grade now. She reads Sapiens when she's having breakfast, or she reads Rebel Girls when she's having her breakfast, and go to the classroom. Is there scientific temper in the classroom? We rationalist parents, we can tell her, yeah, you don't need to believe. We can see the change in her. She doesn't have the veil of the beliefs. She's free to think. I really envy her when she talks. She can think out of the box. She's not afraid of anybody. She can tell that there is no God. That after so many years, we were scared to tell. Whether, what if? Because we were used to that certain roles. So she goes back, okay, this is her, where she go back to the class, is there scientific temper in the classroom? Is she able to carry out her thoughts in the classroom? Because all her friends are believers. Till now she has not, recently she had told that she is a non-believer, but till now she was scared to tell that she is a non-believer. She says that, no, what if I don't get any friends in my class? Because all my friends goes to church, all my friend goes to temple. What if they don't want to become my friend just because she is a non-believer? And she says that she's the only one in her class. So just imagine the situation that we are going through. So this is the reason. And we are going to the school. All are in the school. What is the first practice in our school? Even in the government schools and also private schools. Those who have gone to the private schools, you must be knowing the exact condition of our private schools. Without this, it doesn't start. And they say the reason that we are making the children obedient, we are making the children, we are giving them actually the concentration will be more if you do all these things. They will have their, the structure of living. It should be the way that the day has to be started. So many things. And the first term itself, obedience, we are making the children obedient. That term itself spoil all the scientific temper in the society. The moment the children are obedient, they don't want to think. They just want to follow you. We make them follow us, the teachers, the elders. Where are we giving them the freedom to think? So this is the first thing. Then the class starts and the teacher enters the class, and this has a science in it, but a little add-on is there, value education or moral science. This is I've captured the picture. This is really existing, a moral science book or a value education book which is there. The children study this. They read this and the teachers teach this thing. And in that they say, you are made by God. You are unique because God wanted you unique. You are just special because God wanted you special. And teacher teaches them. Very happily, very confidently we teach them. And the next class, the biology teacher like me enters and I teach about the variation and tell that variation is required because that is how the species exist. I teach about reproduction, I teach about genes, and where does it go? And you cannot blame the children. They cannot differentiate between beliefs and facts. They cannot differentiate between beliefs and facts. And also this is told, how will they know? This is told by the same teacher who teaches biology and who teaches value education. Even I teach value education, but it is a little different, not that way. I try to avoid those things, but we are bound to teach. We are bound to teach. It's a part of curriculum. It's a part of major syllabus. Value education is given 1 period. And also there is exam. So children cannot differentiate whether this is needed subject. We can tell value education and let it go. No. That is also valued. This is also valued. What will the children believe? Science is also valued. Chemistry is also given mark. At the same time, value education equally weighed. And they have board exams in these Christian institutions where I work. They have board exams at 9th and 7th, value education. So how will they make difference? And they have a book. Naturally, they will read. The teachers will teach them. So they will think that that is also, they cannot differentiate between beliefs and facts, and we reassure them, yes, this is the thing. You have to follow this. You have to learn this. You have to go ahead with them. So this is, again, one of my children. Children get confused, actually, when we contradict between each other. This is one of my children. So I was teaching about this cells, tissues, and body parts and all those things. So this child, she's a very good science student, I should say. So she stood up and asked me, ma'am, where will I place the soul then? So I was also confused. Then children have started, you can place that in the heart, it is in the brain, and where not. And one of the students, she heard something from somewhere, she said that each and every cell is made up of soul. I actually didn't know how to answer this question. And that 1 period I've explained about 21.3 grams experiment, I've explained about so many things. Still, I was not happy because this is there. I didn't know that so much is going on in their mind. When I'm teaching biology or chemistry, this is what. When I'm talking about atoms, this is what they will think. There is atom, but where did this atom come? God made this. And there was this funny thing about, again, anecdotal about my daughter. So one day she was in lower classes at that time. So one day she came back school and she said, "Oh, Mama, I am getting so much pressure in my head." I said, "What happened?" No, that is a big problem. The teacher told that God made her. So being rationalist, we, in our very democratic atmosphere we have in our house, so we have already told her that Mama and Dada made you, so you have our genes, that is why you have certain characters, all those. So that day, her teacher told her, she was in KG, so her teacher told her that the God made her. So she was worried that she has got God's gene. So she was like, where, do I have God's gene? Do I carry God's gene? And she's telling that I cannot have somebody's gene who doesn't belong to my family. So she was so worried and she didn't know where to place in the family tree. They draw that family tree. Where should I place grandfather, the great-grandfather? So we laughed. At that time, naturally, I laughed. But it is not something to be laughed. They are confused. We are making them confused. By giving both the information together, give them one. Tell them what is right. We are stopping them asking questions. We are not allowing them to ask questions. We are stopping them there. And when they ask questions, as they have asked me, I could answer. Still, I couldn't digest that idea. Still, I have tried to answer them, try to give them some logic. But if it was some other teacher, will they be able to do this? Or will they try to do this? And not even this, you will smile or laugh sometimes when I say that there are children who don't cut their nail when they are having their periods or menstruation. And they say that it's not good. So we have in our classroom also, we have the nail checking, all these sanitary things, hygienic things. So when I went and checked, this was not cut. So I've asked, what happened? Why have you not cut your nail? So she said, no, ma'am, during this time I'm not supposed to. And this is after me taking 40 minutes class on menstruation and reproductive health. Tell me, where am I going wrong? What is wrong with me? How can I inculcate? They still think so. They don't cut their hair during their menstruation. Or we have Tuesdays, we don't cut our nail. Saturdays, we don't eat non-vegetarian. There are so many other things. And Corona time, my goodness, hot water, kashaya. In Mangalore side, they drink one kashaya. They will put all the unnecessary things in that and they will drink it so hot, your food pipe will get burnt. So they do all these things and they reinforce children telling that this is the way it should be done. This is okay. They don't ask questions. Then I ask, why don't you ask? What is the use of this thing? Why don't you ask? Ma'am, if we ask, they tell that we have not asked these questions to our parents. Why are you asking questions now? It's not right to ask questions to elders you don't respect. When have you started to back answer? That is a particular word, back answer. So this is the way they have been treated. So they will just keep quiet. Okay, fine. Whatever parents are saying, it's absolutely all right. And they follow. And it is reinforced in the classroom by the teachers. So this is what is happening in our society. This is what, I was not exaggerating any of those things. This is what was happening. Children are not ready to think. Even if they think, they don't know what to think. So now, who are responsible for this? Children are not responsible. Because they're growing up. Whatever you give them, they will accept like a sponge. So who are responsible for this? Parents? Up to an extent, yes. Parents, because they will spend a day in the school, they will come back to the home, which is very conducive in nature. We all know how we have all grown up. The situation is not yet changed, only that little pseudoscience is added here and there, so it is more palatable for them to engulf it without thinking twice. Other than that, still the families are in that conducive environment. They have their prayers, they have all these superstitions going on in a smaller scale or in a larger scale. So whatever they're experiencing in the classroom have been reinforced at home by these parents, first of all. And that is enough for them. Fine. Whatever you learn, keep it in the school and you come back home and you go ahead with the flow. School subjects are just for the marks. You get the marks, that's enough. And our beliefs, let it be. These are our beliefs. The next one is institutions. Definitely, as I was telling you, these institutions, especially these government institutions, again, I tell that they are lucky, much, much better, except especially in Kerala. Otherwise, in Karnataka and all, it is not, because the educational quality is not as good as the. So naturally, the parents are forced to send them into a private institutions, mostly owned by a religious group. Because they have a lot of money, they can afford to hold a religious institution where definitely they will be inculcating, inseminating their ideas into the children, catechism classes, Bhagavad Gita classes, Quran classes, all these things are there. So along with that, this is also a major subject. What will the children do? Follow both. Mix and match everything so that wherever there is a little space, insert science there. That's it. So they will not think. They don't need to think. That's it. That's more palatable. And you cannot blame them. These are institutions naturally. But in a way, I should tell that these institutions are doing a good job because they are giving education to children at least. But along with that, their propaganda will also be going ahead. And you cannot blame that. So my husband was telling, when I was telling, we were having a discussion. So he said, otherwise rationalists have to start an institution. But naturally, we don't have enough funds to start an institution. So that is also a question mark. Then educational policies. Fantastic educational policies. When NEP was there, we teachers had to analyze it critically, thinking, all those things were going on. So we were doing fantastic policy, except few here and there, fantastic policies. We would love it. My goodness, with these policies, how can we still, our children don't have all these qualities? We'll be wondering. But at the same time, see, these are the paper cuttings I've taken. This was not in WhatsApp University or any other social media. This was in the major newspaper articles. So Pythagoras theorem has Vedic roots and curriculum must be included, wisdom of Vedas, Ayurvedas. All those things are there. These policy makers, where are they? These policy makers who are telling to instill scientific temper in students, where are they when this is published? And I have a tendency, these people will contradict. Sometimes after 2 days they will tell, this news was there and these people have spoken against it. I have not seen anybody spoken against these things on the newspaper. Where are the policy makers? And I will not be surprised if the aeronautical engineering will have, there's Pushpaka Vimana as a subject later. Definitely. IIT is having a research on this Ramasetu. This is the time where we are going through. So naturally, these pseudoscience will be there. We will be happy to announce all those things through the newspapers, through the media. And there was when I was talking about the institution, in Bangalore, there was one engineering college which took half a day to marry a peepal tree to a neem tree. Seriously, I'm not joking. A major engineering college in Bangalore. And they were all happy, half a day, principal, administrators, all have come. And I wonder if the intergeneric species of peepal tree and neem tree is there or not. Now we'll be going to check that. So this is the condition that we are going through. And the last stakeholder who are responsible, the teacher. Sorry that I don't look like one among them, but when I go to school, almost this is the way I look. So the teachers. The teachers, there are few teachers, rationalists, very difficult situation. We are in a very difficult situation. We don't even know what to speak in the class. We are forced to teach moral science. We are forced to teach value education. We are forced to be inside that system. Scheduled system. You are supposed to follow certain criteria. And among that also we try to instill few things. But one teacher is enough. In my institution there are 70 teachers and I'm the only one rationalist. And sometimes I'm scared to tell also. You don't know when I'll be sacked. And if this program has been seen by my teacher, then I'll have to search for another job for sure. My principal. I just told that I'm going to talk about scientific temper in the classroom. So she thought I will be speaking about some good things. So nothing against my college or school. It's absolutely fantastic. I love my children. I love my colleagues. I love my principal. But still, this is the situation. So the teachers, so rational teachers face difficulty. At the same time, what about non-rational teachers? There are enough, plenty of them in the classroom. They don't have, and you cannot blame them also. For the B.Ed also, when we are doing the bachelor degree in education, the scientific temper as a concept is given to only science pedagogical students. It's not a general subject. It is just a pedagogical subject. And it is taught to them and finished. They are out of the school. And they will still again, the first period, they will tell that God made all of you pray. Then next period, they'll go talk about Big Bang Theory. What will the child believe? And you are telling. And it is slowly inseminated into the child. These thoughts, your beliefs, everything. Naturally, the children are 99, their quality time is spent in the school. And you know how the children adore their teachers. They love their teachers. Whatever come out of their mouth, they take it as the Veda Vakya. So, this is what we are talking in the class. We are happy to announce all those things. We are happy to tell that God made us. Atom, that single thing, where did it come? God made. See the wonders. So this is what we are going through. The teachers are like this. So, what do we do now? The main thing, I cannot think about any other these stakeholders talked about. I can think about only one in this stakeholder, that are the teachers. We have to change them. Change them in the sense, we cannot change them by force. I don't believe in all those things. You have to give them proper training. You must have heard about faculty development programs. There are enough faculty, teachers will be against it. Definitely, they will tell, what is this? We have a lot of work. On top of that, we have faculty development program. I don't want to follow all those things. But like any other thing, we have a lot of training programs to attend to. Along with that, why not scientific temper to all the teachers? I see yoga gurus coming to our schools to make our teachers very positive thinking and all those things. I think even the soil campaign, they come to our schools to give lessons to our teachers. Yoga gurus, positive thinkers, all those things, all those people come to schools to give training to the teachers. Then, why not a rationalist to come to school and train a teacher as a faculty development program? I've seen Professor Narendra Naik going from school to school. If any of you don't know about Narendra Naik, sir, he is the president of FERA and a very good friend of mine. He's from Bangalore. So what does he do is, he resigned his job and he go from one school to another school to school, and give even the teacher training schools, give faculty development programs and give classes for children. You should see, we have gone with him, so you should see how the zeal in the children, how much they love his programs and his fantastic programs. He asks children, ask questions. So he go and give 2-hour sessions and come back. You should see how children change. They love these kind of programs. They love to think better. They love to be reinforced. But sir will go, people like this will go after 1 or 2 hours, and again they are coming back to these teachers who will again teach the same old thing. So this reinforcement is not there for the children. So naturally they will fall back to their natural original thoughts, which will go along with the other students. So this is where you people come to play. This is where I want you people to help me, many resourceful people, the media people, who are policy makers, the people who are watching in the social medias. I know so many people are sitting here. Why can't you help? This is the help I want. Change the society. This is the only way. And you can reinforce this to the teachers as well as to the students. Make the teacher resourceful. That is the only way to change the world. So the better teacher definitely will make the world a better place. So let's give these children a chance to think, a chance to open their mind. As Suraj was telling, give them the wings. Once they get that, they will not have chance to think, or they will not have time to think about what do they have to wear inside the classroom, what do they have to serve as a food in the canteen. They will not have time for all those things. They will have better things to think about. They will have better problems to solve. So that is where our society, see, we have strived at this age also, after 35, 36, 42, we have to stand here and speak for scientific temper. Let our students not face this difficult situation. Let them grow in a society where it is all colorful. They can think. They can have their freedom of speech, talk. Let's give them that freedom. Like Tagore said, into the heaven of freedom, let our children awake. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for giving me this this stage. RenaiESSENSE and Anish, thank you so much. Without you, I would never be standing here. So thank you so much.
So happy to see this, this topic being talked about here, because I have 2 children, 18 and 20 now. And one of the big questions I had when they were going through their schooling is, where do I send them to school? Till 2nd, 3rd standard, they were in a regular CBSE school, when I decided, no, this is not. But one thing I found is when you try to look at, I'm sorry, I'll speak and I'll continue to speak if I'm going to speak on this topic, sorry. But yeah, the only alternate education possible field here is tied with some spirituality. I ended up putting both my kids in Waldorf schools. I don't know whether you're aware of it, Bengaluru Steiner School. It's an alternate school, but most of the things I see, the alternate schools are tied with some spirituality. I still subscribe to that because that was better than anything else available here. And I was at home, so any bullshit come from there, I'll correct. So that's always there, but not all children have that backup from home. Because I know a lot depends on teachers, as you said, teachers have a big role, but then these are all individuals coming with a lot of different experiences. So even with being in this alternate school, once a week I had to go there and say, no, this is not the way. And I'm also a sexuality educator. So I go to school, take children. So they already knew, I talk to my children about sex and sexuality. So I remember this funny conversation when my son was in 6th. The teacher calls me and tells, I hear the kids talking about kissing or something. 6th grade, okay? I know you talk about these things. I said, 6th grade. Maybe you know my son, but I know every other kids also will be thinking and talking about this. But wherever you go, you see this free nature of children not being encouraged. And I'm really looking to where can have this space where we really can have this mix of this free thinking space, which I see in a lot of these alternate schools. Okay, I'm really for that in that way. But then other part being compromised is this, they go for this meditation, the fire meditation in the morning and all kind of bullshits of that sort. So what's the way? What can we do for our children?
That is the way I am also waiting to see, so that I will have someone to walk along with. Sometimes I'll come back home and you feel tired doing the same thing again and again and again and again. And sometimes children don't change because, they're getting reinforced. That's what I was telling. They require reinforcement in the same thing again and again and again. Children, they will have whatever area is flourishing in front of them, they'll move through that area. So this is I've really thought about it. I'm really worried about this situation. Otherwise also the country may change. You may say, tell that the country will change. People will change over a period of time. People will be tired of all those things, beliefs and all those things. But it will be in a snail pace. It will be very slow. If that is starting from the students at the grassroots level, it will be much more easier and children will have a lot of opportunity. They will get that freedom. But for that, if you ask me, say, you cannot go for the parent, changing the parents or any institutions. These are all very beyond our area. So the only possible way of changing or feasible way is the teachers. Yes, that's what I was telling. These faculty, they can have their beliefs. Nobody is against it. Then they can tell, see, we can have our own religion. That is also there in the constitution. Definitely, they can have their beliefs. But it should not reflect in the classroom. Definitely, it should not. But it reflects. But it should not reflect in the classroom. If each and every teacher think that way, even if the institution is the other way around, we can accomplish this. With my experience, I'm telling, one class, my classroom, especially, that class will be little different. I've been teaching for some years now, so you will be the class in charge of particular class. So teachers will tell, yeah, your children are little different. Yes, they are different. I inject all these things into them. Not my rationality, I don't tell them not to believe. That is right again on my part. It is not right on my part. But give them space to think. Give them space to ask questions. Get a democratic atmosphere in the classroom. They will change. That is my word to you.
I totally agree with that because I've been taking sexuality education 5th, 6th, 7th. First class, everybody will be like, gee, what kind of things you're doing? But the 3rd, 4th, 5th session, they are like, are you going to come back next year? So I was associated with an NGO which do like 5 sessions in school as a sexuality education. So children are very open to change, but I see
They are
all
ready to
these
change.
kind
They
of-
don't want to pray. You
all
ask
these
them in
kind of
person.
things they're bringing from home. Like take a lot of time to look through all the periods myth and break them and say, and then they're going back to the same home. So that's where I was telling parents also, I can tell them there is nothing impure about it, but they have to go back to the home and integrate there. So
Yes, yes. They
it's a
want to
big
change. They
challenge.
don't want to pray. They tell that it's a waste of time. But seriously, if you ask them, they know that you little encourage their ideas. They tell that, ma'am, it's just waste. We are just going home. We are just going to that place to just play. They don't, for them it is boring. We also had the same experience. I had the same experience. Oh, once it is over, it would be very nice. That was my attitude. So if a correct person come in front of them, they will definitely change. Let's hope.
Thank you so much. Thank you sis, for having this session.
Thank you, thank you.
Religious holidays and normal holidays, yeah. But as teachers, we would entertain that religious holidays. That is the time when we get a little holidays. Otherwise, it should be rain holidays. Rain holidays, we teachers have to go. So religious holidays, for the time being, let it be. We can have little holidays. But definitely, yeah, it should be avoided in the schools. You can have 4-day week, 2-3 days sit at home, or 4 days week. That will also give us more time to teach. We will be able to cover our portion, definitely.
Jahnavi, excuse me, can you read the question actually?
Okay. One suggestion to rational thinking in school is to stop providing religious and national holiday. Instead, provide regular holidays other than weekends, not particularly for any function. Perfectly all right. That is when I was telling. Fantastic suggestion. Even we tell. So even my daughter, she says, what if we don't have holidays like this? And we have the 4 days week. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic idea. But they should not reduce all the religious holidays and should not give us any other holidays. That will be a little difficult. Any other questions? Thank you so much. Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah.
Many thanks for the presentation. So my question is, how do you clarify the doubts of these kids? Because they will be in different understanding. Because same time they are learning science and the religions. So when I was a kid, I had a similar doubt. Because one time, on another side, I am learning that humans evolved via evolution. Another side, human created by God with the soil. So how do you clarify the doubts of these kids? This kind of doubts.
See, I'll tell you what. Till you learn till 10th, all the basic knowledge is there in our book. I didn't know that till I was teaching. Everything is there in the textbook. Everything. NCERT textbook. But the problem with the teachers, we don't transact it properly. Our teachers have also not transacted it. This evolution, reproduction, everything is there in the... So when they're asking this question, first of all, teachers should know the basic concept. Definitely. That's what. Our prejudices, our beliefs should not come in the classroom. My beliefs should not come. If I think that the God made me, and if I'm teaching evolution, naturally at one point of time, this God will come in that evolution, for sure. If I'm talking about atoms, children will ask, how did that particular carbon and hydrogen had come? Yes. If that is other teachers, they will tell it. See, coincidence, they don't have the term coincidence. It just happens sometime without anybody creating it. So people don't have the concept of it. So we are confused. We make them confused. Along with that, we include all these masalas of God and all these things. So very nice, palatable. So that is the only way. We have to be thorough in our content, and also our beliefs should not come in the classroom. Our beliefs are our beliefs. Keep it at home, not in front of the children, definitely. Religious prejudices, filters on mobile like porn filters for safety, parental control on internet. I didn't get your question. Of course, you should tell them. See, you cannot stop them using the internet, for sure. This is the age of information. This is the time. See, we cannot understand all those things. That doesn't mean that whatever the children are doing is wrong. They are learning from that. And you should tell them what is right, what is wrong. What is wrong in that? Whenever they are small, if you tell them properly, they will understand. If they can understand all these beliefs, gods and everything, they will be able to understand this also. Why don't we give proper guidance to them? We should tell them what is right, what is wrong. Children, we cannot make them stop using internet or mobile phones or any other such gadgets. It is the need of the hour. If our children don't use, we will not go anywhere. Otherwise also we are going behind in the information. If we stop that also, we will not go ahead at all. We will still be stagnant in our growth. So let them use, and after a certain age, there is no problem in knowing all these things, I guess. They should know where to use it. They should not use it in inappropriate places. That's it. So that's what I think. That is a good way to treat this problem, I guess.
Actually, my son is studying in 7th standard. So whenever he's watched some Telugu movie or Tamil movie, he used to tell me that there is no science involved. At the same time, when he's 7th standard history book, there is some topic like Jesus, some miracles are involved. So I tell him, you can't ask this question to teacher, classroom, how this miracle have any science. So what kind of, how I can satisfy him? So whether I can encourage him to ask the question, then he will be sacked from the school.
You can never ask him, whatever question it is, you can never ask a child to stop asking questions. We should have the answers. That is the main thing. We should know how to answer to these questions. Definitely there are no science. Now these scientific fiction movies, not even that, there's Marvels and what is that? The Doctor Strangers, all those things children watch. When you watch, you feel like laughing. What is there in that? Nothing is there. We feel absurd. But they like all these things. They like superheroes coming, saving. All those things they like. Tell that this is just for the entertainment. Nobody like that. Nobody will come and save us. If we have fallen somewhere, we only have to get up and find our way. If we have broken our leg, we only have to find. We have to find rescue in the modern medicine. That is the only way. Nobody is going to rescue us. But it is for the entertainment. Let them enjoy whatever. Even Jesus Christ, sometimes my daughter says, I'll be a believer for one day, Amma, if it's okay. I said, it's absolutely all right. But by the end of the day, you should tell me, why are you a believer? Or if you want to change, why have you changed? Finished. You can believe. She prayed for 2 days or something for getting something. Then she said, forget it. I'm not getting that. Better you buy it and give it to me. So let them pray. If they want to be a believer, let them be a believer. Absolutely all right. What is wrong? But ask them to give reasons. Ask them the reason. The same way you give them the reasons for your activities. If you're watching this, why? You answer them. At the same time, they are reliable.
So
that
you
will
mean to
open.
say I should discourage him to ask such questions in the classroom, right? I shouldn't encourage him.
You have to encourage.
No, but in a classroom, how
I encourage personally, but there are many teachers who don't encourage. Definitely, I should tell that very, I should be ashamed to tell that actually. There are teachers who don't encourage. They corner the children. They don't like them asking questions because we don't know the answer, first thing. And we don't know how to answer that. So it is a problem with the teachers, not with the children.
Thank you, Jahnavi. That was a wonderful presentation and beautiful slides too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
So with the overwhelming questions, you know how the presentation went.